And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. Verse 16, And the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Verse 17, But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. Verse 18, And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an help meet for him. Verse 19, And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Verse 20, And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an help meet for him. Verse 21, And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Verse 22, And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. Verse 23, And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Verse 24, Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Verse 25, And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
Chapter 3.
Verse 1, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Verse 2, And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3, But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Verse 4, And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Verse 5, For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Verse 6, And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Verse 7, And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. Verse 8, And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. Verse 9, And the Lord God called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? Verse 10, And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. Verse 11, And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree, whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? Verse 12, And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Verse 13, And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Verse 14, And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Verse 15, And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Verse 16, Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Verse 17, And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Verse 18, Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. Verse 19, In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. Verse 20, And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Verse 21, Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skins, and clothed them. Verse 22, And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever. Verse 23, Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden, to till the ground from whence he was taken. Verse 24. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
Chapter 4.
Verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Verse 3. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. Verse 4. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? Verse 10. And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Verse 16. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. Verse 17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city, after the name of his son Enoch. Verse 18. And unto Enoch was born Arad, and Arad begat Mehujael. And Mehujael begat Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech. Verse 19. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. Verse 20. And Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. Verse 21. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. Verse 22. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wives Adah and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech. For I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. Verse 24. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. Verse 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God, said she, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. Verse 26. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
Chapter 5.
Verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Verse 2. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. Verse 3. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, and after his image, and called his name Seth. Verse 4. And the days of Adam, after he had begotten Seth, were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. Verse 5. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Verse 6. And Seth lived 105 years, and begat Enos. Verse 7. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 8. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Verse 9. And Enos lived 90 years, and begat Canaan. Verse 10. And Enos lived after he begat Canaan 815 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 11. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. Verse 12. And Canaan lived 70 years, and begat Mahalaleel. Verse 13. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalaleel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 14. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. Verse 15. And Mahalaleel lived 65 years, and begat Jared. Verse 16. And Mahalaleel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 17. And all the days of Mahalaleel were 895 years, and he died. Verse 18. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. Verse 19. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 20. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Verse 21. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. Verse 22. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 23. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. Verse 24. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Verse 25. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. Verse 26. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 27. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Verse 28. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begat a son. Verse 29. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. Verse 30. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 31. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. Verse 32. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Chapter 6.
Verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Verse 3. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. Verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Verse 6. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Verse 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. Verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Verse 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man, and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. Verse 10. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Verse 11. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. Verse 12. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Verse 13. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Verse 14. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. Verse 15. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. Verse 16. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, and the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. Verse 17. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life, from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. Verse 18. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. Verse 19. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee, they shall be male and female. Verse 20. of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. Verse 21, And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Verse 22, Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, so did he.
Chapter 7.
Verse 1, And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Verse 2, Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Verse 3, Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. Verse 4, For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. Verse 5, And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. Verse 6, And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. Verse 7, And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Verse 8, Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. Verse 9, There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth. And the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. Verse 18, And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. Verse 19, And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. Verse 20, 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. Verse 21, And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. Verse 22, All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. Verse 23, And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. Verse 24, And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
Chapter 8.
Verse 1, And God remembered Noah, and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters as swagged. Verse 2, The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. Verse 3, And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days the waters were abated. Verse 4, And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. Verse 5, And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. Verse 6, And it came to pass at the end of 40 days, that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. Verse 7, And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Verse 8, Also he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. Verse 9, But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. Verse 10, And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. Verse 11, And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. Verse 12, And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. Verse 13, And it came to pass in the 601st year in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and, behold, the face of the ground was dry. Verse 14, And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, was the earth dried. Verse 15, And God spake unto Noah, saying, Verse 16, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons wives with thee. Verse 17, Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. Verse 18, And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Verse 19, Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. Verse 20, And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. Verse 21, And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. Verse 22, While the earth remaineth, seedtime and harvest and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
Chapter 9.
Verse 1, And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth. Verse 2, And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Verse 3, Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things.